How we doing? Welcome back to North State Locker Room. I'm Grayson Wright. I got Jack Ryan with me. And we're just going to be talking about sports. We're talking about local sports, talking about national sports, what's going on in the NBA, NFL, Olympics, MLB, just you name it, we'll be talking about it. But yeah, I got Jack with me.
How's it going, everybody?
So, we're both coaches.
Yes.
All right. I wanna ask you how because this is your first season coaching. I want to ask you how your first season went.
I think it went better than what I expected it to be, especially doing young adults, freshmen. A lot of people told me it was very hard and difficult to deal with them. It is, but you also got to remember that they're still learning the game. They don't know everything. They like to think that they know everything, but they don't. But I enjoy it. I thought it was a great experience, and I can't wait to do it next year.
Yeah. The kids liked you. There were some kids that didn't. But I don't know. I think you did really well. But it's fun. Coaching's a lot of fun. How was it? Because you dealt with attitudes this year.
Yes, I did. I dealt with players who would turn over the ball and just give up right away and get all frustrated. And you got to just keep telling them, it's just a game. Just have fun out there. And because it was mostly AAU, they don't really take it that serious. It's not school ball. But in school ball, they will definitely get on to them about that. But you just got to know that they're still learning and they're just out there to have fun. That's the key thing, is just go out there and have fun.
The school ball and AAU are completely different.
They are completely different. I know a lot of NBA scouts are saying that the problem with people getting hurt most of the time now is them playing AAU so much.
Well, yeah, so I had a ton of players that were. You also had a few of these players. They were playing basketball. They were playing baseball. They were playing football. They were playing. Any sport really. They were all doing it, and that's so much wear and tear on their bodies. It's kind of crazy.
It honestly is, because the more stuff you do, the more your body will adapt to it. But over time, it will definitely, you'll see some issues with your body.
Yeah. So with what's one of your highlights?
We went to Oregon, Medford, and I just liked them going out there and just having fun, because a lot of them were on separate teams too. So they got to play a lot more games.
Wait, you went to Oregon?
Yes, I did. Went to Medford.
Oh, that's right.
The tournament.
You stayed with me in the hotel.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Totally forgot about we had that tournament.
But it was great seeing Oregon just have a huge facility there. It was one of the best facilities I've ever seen in my life. I think they had 20 courts in just one gym and an indoor water park, which is insane.
That was really, really cool.
I do think they should do something like that in Reading. I know the old Costco is still open.
Yeah.
I think they need to do something with that sports-wise, because this town doesn't really need any more fast food restaurants, I believe. And it's just going to bring in more people from Sacramento, Medford, all these places around to come here and play during the summer, because there really is nowhere to play here in Reading besides the YMCA. And unless you have a connection with a local gym or a high school coach that will let you in there.
But you then have a lot of those kids who kind of are shy and don't feel that they aren't confident in themselves, that to go to the Y and start trying to ball or whatever, or and that they're scared of people judging them or something. They miss a bad shot, they're in their head the whole time. I agree. I definitely think Reading needs more stuff to just sports wise. More parks, more basketball courts, nets on hoops. You got Gervan, that the light. It's just at that perfect angle that it just messes with your shot.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just staring right at the light when you shoot.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Better parks that are, in nice areas that at least have some lighting, that maybe turn off at 2 a.m. Or something like that. And because like Anderson, River Park, they had the one basketball court there, and they took out half of it, for the splash pad, which I love the splash pad. Great idea. That's awesome. And they turned the tennis courts into like a mixture, but the ground is just, it's
slanted for sure.
Yeah, and it's not basketball. And so that's the thing that sucks is they need to, it'd be really cool if they make just actual, basketball courts and turn that Costco into like an indoor facility. Because you didn't go to Reno.
I did not.
No, because Reno was last year. Reno, what they did was for the tournament, it was probably, I don't know, 60 different courts, 60 to 80 different courts, and like basketball courts. Now, granted, it was kind of plastic, so I'm not gonna lie, they weren't great courts.
Okay.
But it was just a different atmosphere. I mean, like you're walking into one part of the building, and there's about 20-something courts in there. Some of them are hardwood, some of them are logo. Like you have one that looks like the Spurs, which was cool, but it was really, really cool because you're seeing varsity guys over here just dunking. You got 6'9" kids just throwing it down. Court right next to them, about 10, 15 feet away from them, fourth graders just playing ball. And what was really, really cool is just everybody's there for basketball. And when I brought my team there last year, we only won one game, unfortunately, and that was by 1 point. And we thought we lost that game until the book recounted.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it was the last game, but it was just really, really cool. The kids weren't down on losing because it was just really, really cool. And I told them, enjoy yourselves. Don't let a loss take away your enjoyment of being here. Because a lot of the kids, I took one of my players. Because he wouldn't have been able to go, and I really, really enjoyed it because, I mean, imagine you wouldn't have been able to go to Oregon. You're junior, senior year?
Yeah, it's a great experience for the kids too, especially going to bigger cities and seeing all these players play. I mean, you get to see a lot of different play styles, players, and it's a great experience for sure.
Yeah, no, and so it was really, really cool, and I know for a fact he had just a ton of fun, and a lot of those kids, I think it humbled a few. But a lot of those kids, I mean, were athletes. You stand there and you start watching the game for 10 minutes. You're like, dude, that's crazy. It's a different level. And this year we went to Tahoe. Unfortunately, you weren't able to go. I had to take your team over, but we made it to the chip and lost by 10 to this team from Oakland. And it was crazy because you're playing teams from all over, and we lost to this team from Oakland, and what affected them, I was talking to the coach, and he's like the elevation from Lake Tahoe, which is over 6,000 feet, and I think Richmond, Oakland is 26 feet or something, 15, 26 feet.
Because they're right on the bay.
Yeah, and so they their whole team, they were this kid had to get taken out in an ambulance.
Wow.
The game before, yeah, and it was crazy because the elevation really affects it, and
yeah, I played in college in Lassen, and going up there from Anderson or Reading to Lassen, there's definitely elevation. You start running and you're just dying right away.
Yeah,
you're just not used to it, especially for a weekend trip to Tahoe. Especially for those kids, they're not used to the elevation.
No.
But college is completely different. I know you were talking about coaching, but playing college, you learn a lot. Learn a lot about coaching because you're there with the whole team, especially being in Lassen. There's nothing really too much to do.
You had to try out, didn't you?
No.
So you just had a roster spot right then?
So there were tryouts for, I think any JUCO does tryouts for red shirts. But but they have walk-ons too. Like anyone can go out. That's what the best part about a JUCO is. You can just walk on and you can start playing, which is great because there are so many JUCOs out there.
So you're saying I can go walk on at Shasta right now and just
you possibly can.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But a lot of people think making the NBA is really, really kind of easy because it's a lot different from football because there's more players in football, so it's a little bit harder. But there's so many players in basketball too. You go out on the court in community college and everyone is as good as you or even better. So your work ethic has to be better than theirs.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, usually in college, you're coming from being one of the top guys on your team, school, to then turning into either a role player or something. And, I mean, like the stat here for men's basketball, there's 18,816 participants, 4,181 are eligible. There's only 60 picks in the NBA draft. Only 1.2% go pro.
And I believe that's only for Division 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and so the only 1.2% go pro. Like that's crazy. You got all these kids wanting to go to the NBA and stuff. For example, you yourself.
Of course, we all have dreams of going to the NBA and being on your team that you like, but you start realizing it towards being like playing more and more that dream just is not a reality.
Yeah.
So you got to think of other things than just basketball. But if you're that good, there are so many opportunities for you. You can go overseas. You can do men's leagues. I know a lot of people play men's leagues.
Dude, I want to find a men's league around here, man. Like, I want to play in one. I think that'd be so cool. We get us and the guys.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The 3-on-3 is really cool too, especially it brings a lot of people to Reading, which is great. I know people from Sacramento came up, people from Medford. You have a lot of people coming from the coast as well. So it's a big event, and I'm glad each year it gets bigger.
That's another reason why they should turn the Costco into basketball courts.
Exactly, yeah. It would bring in so many more opportunities for kids. You can have training there. It doesn't even have to be a basketball facility. You can use it for many things as well.
Indoor sports facility.
Yeah.
You know, like when I lived up in Oregon, they had this big sports park and this like big indoor facility, and it had like an indoor soccer field and things like that, a bunch of different stuff. And they would turn it into like a hockey rink, I believe, in the wintertime. And so it's just like that. That's, I think, what Reading needs is like a big sports facility. Like, I know you got big league, but I mean that's more focused on like baseball and stuff like that, which is still really cool. I mean, I still occasionally want to go to the cages.
So many people there play softball too. That's such a big thing for Reading as well. They have all those leagues, which is great.
The slow pitch softball.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Costco idea is a great idea. Because the more opportunities you give kids, the better likely they are to stay out of trouble.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I want more parks to be open. I mean, you got Caldwell, you got Gervan, Anderson River, Kids Kingdom, things like that. I mean, but none of them are like you don't think of that court and being like, oh, that's about basketball, or I know you got Enterprise Park where kids can play football and things like that. Anderson River, you can get a big field, play football or something. But I mean, they just don't really have many things anymore to where.
And I think COVID really helped with that situation as well, because I know during COVID they closed the basketball hoops, I think, in Anderson.
Did they?
Yes, they did. I think they took the nets down. That was their main thing, but still.
Yeah, because who wants a hoop on a
no one wants to hoop on a netless court.
Because that's half the just that feeling,
that swoosh, that swoosh that you make.
Mm-hmm. And I make those all the time, so it's just like.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And so that's why I play. But yeah, and I didn't know that, but it's just like we just need more stuff, and so I definitely push for Costco, to the old Costco, to turn into just an actual sports facility, and maybe they build like another gym, like a bigger gym or something as well, maybe.
Yeah, I started trying to find places to play at because it is really hard to find a place to play at. We used to play at Pacheco, which we were very fortunate for. But now when it's really hot out, no one really wants to play, especially at a park.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a place where it needs to be affordable. I know there's the YMCA, but it's
always packed.
It's always packed, and they're always doing other things on that court. So there just needs to be a place for kids to have the opportunity to do stuff at low cost. And just the old Costco is the great place to do it because it's so big. You can just do multiple things at once because I know pickleball is really popular right now.
Pickleball is blowing up.
Yeah, I go on ESPN. I'm like, pickleball is going on. Interesting.
Dude, our friend Gator and his girlfriend Isabel, they're playing pickleball all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He leaves me on Xbox all the time. Just, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go play pickleball. But, yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, but yeah, I mean, so trying to let's kind of like switch it up, going to like NFL, right? Because I'm a huge Eagles fan, super stoked to see what the Eagles do this season. I believe we're winning the Super Bowl, but like, what do you think about the Titans? How do you think they've handled this offseason?
I don't think they've handled the offseason great. I've been mostly just excited for Jared Kingston to get drafted to the 49ers.
That's going to be really
because that's
cool.
super exciting for the community. I know he came back and did some stuff for the community, which is great. That's what everyone hopes for. But I'm just excited because I collect cards, and I know he's an offensive lineman, but it'd be nice to get a couple of his cards and maybe have him sign them. Who knows?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. You're huge on the sports collecting, and like you're just telling me the other day to get a Jalen Hurts auto, and
yeah, like I think he's gonna have a great season.
What's your most expensive card you have? You think?
I have a Steph Curry rookie card autograph, which is my holy grail. I think.
You got it framed up above your bed or something?
It's just locked up. That's it.
Locked up? Oh, you got it in a safe?
Yeah, I have it in a safe.
God,
you gotta have stuff in safe.
Golly,
in case anything happens, you take that thing with you.
You ever kind of flex it around, just like?
I try not to, but
is it like autoed on the card, or is it like a sticker?
It's a sticker.
It's a
sticker.
Sticker auto.
Yeah. Getting stuff on a card is really hard because during COVID, they did not ship out a bunch of cards because they didn't want germs. So they just did stickers.
Do you plan on going to any NBA games?
I really wanted to go to the Team USA game that was in Nevada, I think last week against
they played
Canada.
Vegas, huh?
Yeah, they played against Canada. But I plan on going to some Kings games because they're closer and the Kings are looking pretty good. They got DeMar DeRozan. I'm
stoked to see DeMar because that's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's a top 25 scorer all time, which is people don't really realize that.
Is he top 25?
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
He's got more points than Steph.
I know dude's a dog, but well, he was drafted before Steph. Or no, they were in the same draft
Same
class.
year. Yeah.
09, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the Kings fans because there's a lot of them up here, and that play-in game was really big for them when they beat Golden State. And I really want to see what Fox and Sabonis, and now they got DeMar. It's going to be great.
Keegan Murray, dude.
Keegan Murray.
Keegan.
Yeah, that's going to be great for the
so
local
sick.
sports, for nationally. But I'm excited.
You ever been to a game where they do the Keegan Murray chant?
I have not been to a game since KD was on the Warriors. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I went to the playoff game when Chris Paul got thrown out.
Dude, that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I wanted to go with you guys.
I thought we did have a plan on going to a Kings Clippers game. I think it was last year or the year before or something. It was right after Harden got traded, so I think it was last season. But that fell through, unfortunately. I think we definitely got to go to a game because, I mean, just seeing the Kings and how they've improved this offseason. I mean, they signed Malik Monk to an extension.
They got him for a deal.
Yeah. I mean, Malik is a dog.
He's sixth man of the year, in my opinion.
Nas Reed just won.
Yeah, Nas Reed.
You're saying Malik's going to win it next year?
I hope so. He definitely deserved it. He got hurt, I think, before the playoffs, but I could be wrong. But I'm excited for what he does because he's definitely underpaid, which is great for the Kings because they were going to go over the cap.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for them because they haven't been good in so long. I know they made the playoffs against the Warriors 2 years ago, but
I mean, the Warriors just suck, but
yeah, that's a whole different story. But I'm excited for the Kings fans because they need to have a great team because that stadium is one of the loudest stadiums I've ever been to.
1,000%. Dude, being there recently, because I went to multiple Kings games before they got like good, and so like you go there and the atmosphere was cool. Like I remember senior year before COVID we went to the Kings Grizzlies game. It was Jaws' rookie year, and it was really really cool. We got nosebleeds. It was like $17 a ticket, so it was cheap.
You're not going to find that anymore.
No, not at all. I mean, a nosebleed now is minimum like probably 70. And so it was like $17 a ticket. We went, big group of us, it was like 8 or something. And so we all got in a row, and it was really, really, really cool seeing like Ja in his rookie year. I mean, he only had like 17, but it was still really cool because it was, I believe, kind of like a close game. And then 3 weeks later, I went to the Kings Raptors game with my dad and my grandma, and I mean that was really really cool as well, you know, because I you know just seeing, because that was cheap too. That was like $30 a ticket, and we sat nosebleeds. But seeing like the atmosphere and how much has grown, because went to a Kings game the year after, went with Gator, and then. Like they played. Oh, I went with Jesse as well. They played the Magic, and then Cole Anthony had his had a season high that game. It was like 30 something, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But and then just now seeing it, the same seats that were maybe $70 that was behind the basket, pretty cool, pretty close, are now $170.
Yeah,
you know, they jumped $100 because the Kings just decided to be really good and make the playoffs. And so,
how was the Eagles game you went to last year?
Oh, the Eagles Seahawks one, dude, that was so sick. That one we drove 12 hours to it, and the Eagles were, unfortunately, it was
they lost.
Yeah, they lost, but they were kind of on their little downhill slant. They lost to the Niners and then lost to the Cowboys. I was like, it's cool. We're going up to Seattle. We haven't beat them in 14 years, and unfortunately, the streak continues.
14 years.
14 years.
Make it 15 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, it might be longer, but yeah, we haven't beat them in a long time, and so I'm thinking to myself like, all right, cool. We're playing them. We're about to get, come back, right? Shake the Niners, shake the Cowboys games off. We're about to come back and win this one, right? We get an early lead. We blow it. And, I mean, like, the atmosphere was really, really cool. They had the, what is it? When you, the decibels.
Oh, the loudness.
Yeah, and so every time the Seahawks had a big play or something, they'd show it on like the Jumbotron, and it would be like
that stadium shakes, right, when it gets so loud. I've heard it shakes.
It definitely could have. We only got to like I think 107 or 108 was the top that we hit, and Gator and I were so curious. We're like, dude, what is the record? Because I know they held the record at one point, but I know the Chiefs stripped it.
Yeah,
like a year later. 170 something. I think it's like 171
That's loud.
Or something was record. And we only hit like 108. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, golly, dude, it can get way louder in here.
Are you excited for, I know football locally is about to start. So do you plan on going to any of the games this year?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, nice.
100%. I want to go. I want to see what Anderson's about. I want to see what Foothill's about. I want to see what Enterprise, Shasta,
yep.
And I want to see the freshman teams as well, because I got former players that are playing football at these schools, and so I want to see how they do. Anderson last year was the first year they had a freshman football team since our freshman year.
Wow.
The last year was the very first year they had a freshman football team since our freshman year in 2016.
Wow, that is great. More and more kids are coming there. That's good.
More kids are going there. They got the coaches for it. They got the, I think they only had like 6 games, but I mean, that's still really cool.
It gives them that opportunity to play younger and exposure for the next level.
It gives them a feel for it, right? And it also, some kids, they play the sport just to stay in shape, which is crazy because they could be really good at that sport, and they do it just to stay in shape. Like, kids do track just to stay in shape. Like, one kid we both coached, Connor.
Yep.
I think he's top 5 as a freshman in the North State in almost every category he competes in.
Yeah, I know.
High jump, long jump, and I don't know.
Whatever else he does,
yeah,
he's
whatever.
just great.
I don't know all the events that he participates in, but he is incredible. That kid's an athlete.
He is a great athlete. I remember coaching him for a couple games. Well, not a couple, but the AAU season, and he's one of those players that definitely stood out to me. He just put in so much effort in every play. I remember just didn't think he could jump. Dude can almost dunk, which is insane.
He's grabbing rim.
Yep. And I remember one play, he was at half court, and the kid was at the free throw line going for an easy layup. Connor just comes out of nowhere and just blocks it off the backboard. And I'm like, this kid is crazy. Dude, he's just jumping out of the gym.
He's just that's. I mean, you see the work, and like I had him last year, his 8th grade year, and the improvement from the beginning to the end is unreal. And that's what I love seeing about all these kids, dude.
Yeah.
Is you see the improvement from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, whether they see it or not, you do. And so it's all about like perspectives. But
yeah, we're excited for the local sports to start starting. We're gonna get to you guys all the scores for every sport. No sport is too much sport. All right.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about any type of sport: tennis, swimming, football, you name it. We'll be covering it locally.
Yeah. And super excited to see what we do. Super excited for the upcoming season. Hope to see you next week on the North State Locker Room. Have a good one.